this point, if you're Coach Etomax, you wouldn't really want to give the comfort picks or assassins here for King Kong. I feel like whenever facing Onic Philippines, there's just this part of you that wants King Kong to play utility. Like, this guy's just too good in the assassins, especially now. You know, maybe 2 weeks ago you can't say that out loud, but now it's different.
So what's going to happen here, since we do see the Lancelot in Red 2 ban, TNC is going to lock in the Yusun Shin, unless it gets banned. And then Onic will somehow think of putting the Hayabusa or something on King Kong, and then TNC is going to answer it.
Yeah, because the Harith is pretty much open to take two. And if ever TNC does go for a Yisun Shin early on, or maybe even a 1-1, that's going to be an easy Hayabusa and a Harith on the side of Onic Philippines. And you wouldn't really want that in one side, especially if you're going to take away the Phobius too. So there you go. The Harith is taken away for TNC Pro Team. Now Onic Philippines, I wonder how they're going to respond.
Wait, does this, what if this happens? What if they first pick the 1-1?
Hey man,
it's for Benny Cutie.
That's Benny Cutie.
Yeah, it's not banned.
Because Onic don't ban it?
Yeah, it's Benny Cutie's 1-1.
That would have been a first in Season 16, and it may be one of the most costly mistakes in the draft. I don't know if Coach Wana's going to do it. It's risky.
If there's one dude who's going to play 1-1, it's going to be the dude who named his daughter 1-1.
I was going to say, right?
There's no other guy.
Okay, there's no way. There's no way.
No.
You can't let that. You
Still
can't let
100% ban rate in Season 16. You know what?
I think Tony knows that he just edged all of us. He knows, it's like, I gotcha.
He's also looking at Benny Cutie.
Harith is so strong in the meta right now. Let's just nerf 1-1 again, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can just take that away. And now for TNC, lock in the Yisun Shin. Let's not play around.
Yeah, this is most likely just...
Do it, Mama Coco. You know you wanna.
Come on, Zaida, say the word. There you go.
Everybody's favorite Korean hero.
YSS.
Is YSS Korean?
Yes, dude. Yisun Shin. Shin is the surname. Yisun. Wait, you know what? I might be incorrect. Let's not go there.
It's just it's a Korean name.
It's a Korean name.
Traditional Korean name.
I think it's a Korean hero in history. Like, he's an admiral.
Ah.
Yeah.
He's
That's
a
what I know.
historical figure.
History lesson.
Just like Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu is what? Our first president.
And Paquito.
And Paquito, our second president. No, I'm kidding. By the way, no. Lapu-Lapu.
You're going to confuse people.
Lapu-Lapu is not our first president. He's a tribal chief then in
during the
ancient
Datu
Philippines.
times.
Yeah, ancient Philippines. You know?
I went to Philippine history.
Yep. Pre-colonial times.
Pre-colonial times, yes. And there you go, the Kimmy locked in with the Grok. And we did see good Grok gameplay coming in from Brusco.
Yes, he did.
Yesterday.
No, that was Friday night.
That was Friday night. You know what? So fresh in my memory, it feels like it was yesterday.
Sounds like I just heard that.
You said that.
Yeah, I did. Darn it. Speaking out loud.
Well, apart from my own thoughts talking to me every night, next two picks here for TNC Protein. Wake up. This is a dream.
It's a force snap.
Sorry,
I triggered you.
It's okay, man. That's a secret. I wake up, I'm already triggered.
That's force snaps are a secret, by the way. It's a secret technique.
You don't know edamame?
You don't know? Hey, man. What is edamame?
Do you guys know what edamame is?
You said it's the Onic MO.
It is.
What is an MO?
That's the modus operandi, all right?
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
What you usually go for. It's your plan of attack.
That's what was the reason I was so silent, dude. I didn't know what MO was.
This is dangerous.
Okay.
This is dangerous that they picked the Arlot blind without taking care of the Phobius. And what did I tell you? I hate how I'm so right. Minutes down. It's like I'm from the future. There's a Hayabusa.
Dude, where are those? Are you eating the Twisted Mind candy that Wolf was eating yesterday?
That was big brain candy.
Yeah,
dude.
he was eating the big brain candy.
These are my leftovers.
Dude, oh man.
Oh man, even leftovers are that powerful. And with that Hayabusa locked in for the side of Onic Philippines, they're still looking for their potential XP lane and gold lane. And they're going to be taking away the Ruby, considering that with Yisun Shin comes the threat of double fighter lineups too.
Right.
Okay.
There it is. They finally took care of it. Although, in my opinion, this is a weak blue 4 ban, and they just got away with it. This is just a vulnerability that they had to close up. And you know what? Knowing TNC, knowing Coach Etomax, seeing what he banned, this wasn't something that he missed out on anyway. So it's fine. It's fine. He's protecting the Arlet. There's the Hylos. TNC, I would not be surprised if they banned the Laps.
Yeah, the Lapu-Lapu seems to be a very strong option here for Onic Philippines.
Ban the Laps.
Maybe even the Uranus or Glue.
I would say glue. Maybe the glue.
I'm more afraid of the glue.
Yeah. Especially with this one, because they go to the okay.
Yeah, that's our first president already out in the draft. No, that's not our first. That's some historical revisionism here. Onic Philippines now on the red 4. They could potentially get their. I would say it's smart to get your gold lane right now. If you go for the XP lane, that would be the safer route. Maybe a Gatot Kacha.
That's going to be the Uranus. So they go. Yeah. Interesting. Because then what is this? What is TNC going to pick up here, especially gold lane? Are we going to see a fighter? Then is that what we're expecting?
Oh, man, I don't think we should get a fighter considering that you're up against a Uranus.
That's a Baksha Rome. And then, do you still carry?
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
yeah. I feel like you don't really have a choice here. I feel like Onic Philippines wants TNC to play carry.
Carry, Granger, Moskov are still open.
Moskov is kind of hard to play against this
lineup, yeah.
This Grok.
The Haya Grok and Uranus, yeah.
Oh, not a lot of choices here. I feel like they're forcing the carry pick out of Benny Cutie.
If he locks us in, it's...
okay, still going to go for the global passive. You know what? It's not going to be an issue if you're not going to face the Grok head on. But that's going to be the last lock-in for Onic Philippines, the Granger against the Moskov.
Is part of this also just because of what you mentioned earlier, Leo, where you're like, you know, they... Like, TNC could have tried to play the map a little bit more. Now the Moskov allows them to do that.
Which is, again, much like that Phobius ban in Blue 4, it feels reparative. It feels like it's trying to reconcile something that went wrong prior, and they're doing it after the fact, which is okay. Again, I would rather you do this than just blindly go and force certain strats. So I appreciate that they're trying to buy back parts of the map. And in my opinion, I don't think it's overkill. Because sure, you have global vision and, you know, a solid way to buy time and get better engagements with the Mountain Shocker. But also, you can go 4-1.
I agree. But that Moskov pick with a 4-1 plus the Mountain Shocker allows for really good macro plays come late game. But early game, it should be a different story here. Once again, this is our first match of week number 4. TNC Pro Team versus Onic Philippines, where Onic Philippines already secured that Game 1 victory in less than 12 minutes. Will the story be different now as we enter game number 2? Lancy playing back-to-back Zushin games.
Yeah, maybe he wants another crack at it here, you know. It was a difficult game that they had in the previous one because even so, they were trying to play into that Fanny, right, and have that early damage, but you know, you have all this utility. Lancy, whoa, quite low, holds on to the flicker though.
Wow.
So he's just going to go ahead and regen back up, but you know, that's what I'm worried about here is if they're not able to capitalize on this, having this Jushin, which is still, obviously it's a power pick. Teams still love to pick it up, but you know, you got to be able to follow through with that. Now, should be a little bit better now that you have Zyda on the YSS, and like we mentioned leading into the match, we saw him play this time and time again yesterday.
And I think the Baksha pickup here coming in from TNC Pro Team functions more like a Selena pick early on, where he just leashes this YSS as fast as he could go, just so the YSS could outfarm King Kong on this Hayabusa, and mainly without the kills, I feel like this YSS could outpace him.
And again, we're getting more signs leading to the same direction. TNC wants the map back. Game 1, they barely had any. And Onic, it's clear that they still want to fight. They want to win lane to lane. Looking at the EXP lane, you saw that Ryota is bullying 3mar. And I love that Ryota picked up agility. This allows for the Uranus to keep stacks on himself and to put stacks on the Arlot, especially when the Arlot wants to stay in the lane. It's the Uranus that actually bullies him out.
And so far for this Uranus, I feel like they could potentially secure something against the Arlot pickup upstairs. And there you go, Flicker forced out of 3mar. And the Turtle will be spawning around that area, which means Onic Philippines will have a direct lead.
Yeah, they bullied them here. They did get that battle spell out. Gold laners doing their things too. Kelro a little bit low there. Oh, they're in trouble. Ryota actually gets caught. He's the one to fall first. Fight for the turtle. King Kong will secure it. He gets dragged back with the lantern, and there, 3mar meets him. King Kong has nowhere to go after using the Quant Shadows. He's done and dusted as they pick up another kill. Now 2 on the board for TNC.
Amazing target acquisition by TNC. They are fueled by their lack of range in game 1, and now they are not letting Onic go. Brusco
oh no!
puts up a rampart, barely getting away, and now finally we see Zyda get into a position, a mindset, a state of flow that he was in the last time he played the Yusen Shin back-to-back-to-back, he is starting to steal away King Kong's resources.
Already 2-0 too. We see a lot of Yusen Shins play it passively at the start, but make it different for Zaida, already ahead by 2 kills. Getting resources away from King Kong as well. And just gotta say, Brusco on that Earthen Rampart not only delayed the Arlot, but also blocked the final slash early on.
Yeah, you're always able to see some of these great, brilliant uses of the Rampart whenever the Grok is in play. And it sometimes even puts enough pressure. I mean, we actually talked about this quite a bit on broadcast yesterday, the different kind of combos or variations that you can do on the Grok, you know, whether that's using that basic attack, whether that's charging him with a tech charge into the Rampart.
Yep, Flicker Swing, Flicker Basic, Rampart, Flicker Tech. These are all good combos, but maybe for the first time in Game 1, let's visit the gold lane. It's clear that the gold standard is bullying Benny. Benny is down, the last time we checked, about 500 gold, even without the kills yet visiting, or big fights visiting the gold lane. Kelra can afford to do this. Kelra just has better damage output.
Yeah, and that's what you get when you draft a Granger. Insane early game and an insane power spike by mid game. The moment that you get that Sky Piercer, you go online. Now King Kong looking for an angle here. Lancey might just be in trouble, but the first, or rather the second turtle of the game is already spawning. But TNC Pro Team establishing early on their presence.
Oh, tech charge going to be used up. Not really what they were looking for, though. They're going to be in a bad position. Mount Shocker already used, and Brusco is gone. Spear Destruction won't land, but right now with the numbers advantage, TNC will secure the second turtle here. Kelra will get spotted out, too, so there's not much that can happen. So there it is, another objective for TNC.
Clinical and diabolical. Zaida held on to the stun of the Mountain Shocker up until he only really needed it, and no Shadow of King Kong showed up, so he never had to use it. He knew that Brusco was going to die anyways. Beautiful take by TNC.
And not just that, looks like they're going to go for the purple too, but Chapnu forced out.
King Kong going in, but he just wants his purple buff. 3 Mars gone though. Kelra picking up a kill. They burned the flicker from Lancey. They fought for the purple. They secured it for King Kong.
Oh no, I feel like that's the first misstep coming in from TNC Pro Team, and Super French still exerting so much pressure against Lancey and Ryota now, at least around that mid lane too. Onic Philippines, despite having or maybe losing out on the first few fights, they're acting like they're owning this game.
They finally got the Sky Piercer after Kelra got that free kill in that turtle fight. So, you know what? Que sera? He's still up by about 600 gold now. Ryota's in trouble.
Ryota pops a Consecrate.
Oh, wow!
Final slash finds 2, finds King Kong as well. Will Quad Shadow on out. He's going to be fine. That could have been way worse for Onic, but right now TNC, you know, utilizing what they can. Can they make a play on Kelra too? Chaknu's been there for a while.
Not going to happen. I think Kelra knows.
Oh no, here they come.
Kelra knows that Chaknu is not in range. Oh no!
Here's the kill squad. Making their way. There's the traction pulse. Medicute trying to sidestep it. He'll get taken out in an instant. And now Chaknu pop the poisons. He's going to be fine. But look at the pressure now in the mid lane. They're going for the turret.
And that's going to be the turret going down. Brusco about to make a play here. Earthen Rampart is available. Here comes Tectonic Charge on 1.
Goes in with the tech charge. There's not much damage here, though. That's the problem. King Kong might jump into the back line, but no. Brusco falls instead. Not much there for Onic Philippines to take.
No, I feel like the tech charge angle was already a bit too late. Now Ryota, is he actually going to escape this? I feel like no. 3 Martizi currently on fire. That's back-to-back-to-back. Final slashes just landing on more than 2.
3mar is on point. I love how he holds on to that final slash, the way that Zaida holds on to the stun of the Mountain Shocker just to get more targets. And Ryota, I think at some point, whoever builds that Dominance Ice or that Halberd first, that Uranus will be no longer a threat. TNC, this is 600 gold lead, but when you watch the game, it feels like it's a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and this 1K gold lead coming in from TNC Pro Team could really be felt the moment that they group up and try to find kills. But looks like for Onic Philippines, they have to stop the bleeding for now, and Benny Cutie is still farming up on this Moskov. We're yet to see the macro advantage that TNC has. Meanwhile, for the power spikes, Onic Philippines should be online by right now, considering that they have the Sky Piercer going to that Malefic Roar on Kelra. But we're yet to see a winning team fight coming in from TNC.
Yeah, TNC's been able to pick things here and there. They've got their objectives now. You know, they got the 1 turret, the 2 turtles down. But again, with this kind of lineup, you have a couple options. You can continue to go ahead and punish with this combination of having the they go in anyway. They find King Kong. A great play and information coming out from Chaknu.
All right. It's clear that TNC have found the zone. They found their state of flow, but I'm hoping that this newfound aggression and focus on winning fights doesn't take over the fact that they invested in the map via the draft early on in the game. And slowly but surely you're seeing they're losing grip of the map. They've only pushed 1 turret compared to Onic, who's pushed 2. I think they need to make the most of this gold lead and these fights they're winning by converting much, much faster.
We could see that they've been trying to pin down King Kong again and again, but it seems that 3mar is just proving to be one hell of a frontliner for TNC Pro Team. They couldn't really get past through that R-look without the threat of having a final slash onto 2 or even 3 from time to time. Onic Philippines now hiding inside their own jungle, maybe even able to take their own buffs for now, as the Lord will be spawning 20 seconds. Onic Philippines, they've stopped the bleeding for now, but the Lord is the next big objective.
I wouldn't be so worried about Onyx buffs just yet. I think the fact that now they've lost their tier 1s opens up the problem. So now it's about 50 to 60% hitting critical mass that they might start losing their buffs. When TNC starts getting through your 2nd tier, then that's when King Kong should start sweating. I wonder how big that gold lead between Zyda and King Kong is right now, because that is what's causing all this pain for the Super Fam.
I feel like we haven't even really seen a full-on 5v5 just yet. Here's come Distraction Pulse. Ryota pops the Consecration as well, able to regen all of the damage instantly. And I feel like we wouldn't really see full-on 5v5s unless the SOD lands in a crucial team fight.
Yeah, part of that is, Onic, they kind of have to really choose their battles here. Benny Cutie's going to continue to be on the opposite end of the map, which is exactly how you expect that Moskov to play. And for Onic, they can go ahead and delay this as much as possible. Again, just trying to grab what they can here. I guess the best thing for them is that Kalra hasn't gone down. He's farmed up. We take a look at how much gold he's got. He's got a good farm up, but look at the difference between the junglers. There's your answer, Leo.
2,000 gold. And here we go, Mount Shocker. Starting it up.
They're going to go for it. Chaknu trying to zone them out. They're going to find Ryota. They drag him back. A final slash going to be used as well. Ryota can't get away from this. He does flicker out, though. But now the rest of the team joining the fight. King Kong looking to go for a 3mar. They back off the Lord. So everything thrown, but TNC still in control.
And just a flicker bird as well for Ryota and Lancy. Make that 3 for 3mar 2. A lot of resources burned in that entire fight alone.
Mostly for TNC. So I'll count that as a technical win for Onic, and that's why they are so gung-ho on taking this Lord.
Well, we'll see if they're able to get it. There's a tech charge, able to find 2, but Benny Cutie will find Ryota, but King Kong gets the Lord instead. They're trying to disengage from the fight. After getting the Lord, they'll have to sacrifice Brusco, the 1-for-2 trade with the Lord for Onic Philippines.
And now the question remains, could Onic Philippines use this Lord?
That's what I was saying. Even if they couldn't use the Lord, they can use it to equalize. The fact that the waves are empowered and that there's a massive Lord marching through one lane, Onic can recover, regroup, and try to gain back parts of the map and then go from there. Again, look, that 2,000 gold lead for Zyda is still there, yes, but they have failed to address the problem, the golden problem. Kelra is still way ahead of Benny.
Yeah, and it's 3-0 Kelra too. The damage starting to pile up. Malefic already built, and Chaknu already hurting in the face of the Rhapsodies. And he's not going to be escaping this.
Man, they dragged him back with a traction pulse. They knew they had a target, and they went for him. Kelra gets another kill on top of it. So, yes, off that first Lord, they'll get a tier 1 in the mid down.
That's currently 3 stacks
on
that Sky Piercer. So you're looking at, what, a 35% threshold? You hit it at max, it's over. You're going to regret that you ever let that Granger breathe. And now watch how they did this, all right? Brusco was key here. Brusco ruined too much of the back line, and they forced Zyda to, I don't know if it was panicking, but one could assume that that wasn't the ideal time for him to throw that Mount Shocker, and that ruined the entry into the Lord take. And look at this. This is more than a recovery. This is Onic coming for a full-on clapback. They push top lane and mid lane tier 2.
And cuts the gold lead back to 800. Less than 1K for TNC Pro Team.
Good is gone.
Good is gone, honestly, entering this 12-minute mark. Wind of Nature picked up, however, for Benny Cutie. This is going to be very crucial against King Kong and Kelra. The Genki connection thrives on physical damage, and a Wind of Nature and Benny Cutie allows for 1v1 setups in the opposite lane.
Yeah, even with that, Kelra, like you said, despite his stacks, he's got the Malefic Roar there. He's got a little bit of defensiveness, too.
He's got the Halberd.
He's got that. And look at this. He's pretty stacked up. So if you're TNC and you're seeing this, you're going to be like, how do we get to Kelra? How do we deal with this? And, they have Benny Cutie. Benny Cutie is part of that equation. He's done great farming up, too. Yes, he's a bit behind Kelra, but he's still a threat in terms of the damage. And also is... if 3mar catches someone with a final slash, like, they still have favorable team fighting here.
Let me say this. Benny Cutie is more of a threat to the map than to actual fights.
That's true.
So that's why now maybe TNC can leverage that, especially since this gold lead is almost non-existent. Send Benny where Onic is afraid to answer back, nor rather send Benny where Onic can't answer back and force them to split up too, because Onic lineup isn't that strong. Oh,
there's the final slash. That's what I was just talking about. They find King Kong, they find Ryota. That is massive for TNC before this Lord.
I was just saying, Onic can't fight when they're not complete.
3mar finding a potentially game-winning play here for TNC Pro Team, and essentially secures them the Lord too. TNC Pro Team grabs control once again of this game. 13 minutes in, that's Zyda securing the Lord. It seems that they're gonna fight for this purple too.
Okay, that is huge for TNC.
What was that?
Onic Philippines will try to hold on. A final slash going to use again. They pop the Wind of Nature on Kelra. Kelra trying to get some space, but he's dragged back. A great usage from Lancey, and now it's falling apart. Onic, they're back up. They're trying to get recuperated here, but they lost Kelra.
Man, these final slashes coming in from 3mar is starting to be a problem for Onic Philippines. I feel like the angles are just so fast, and it's so hard to predict when 3mar will just come in and try to swipe out 3 members coming in from Onic Philippines.
You know what? Instead of forcing Onic to make these mistakes, what TNC did was they found a way to make Onic present themselves on a silver platter. I was wondering, okay, I was going to theorize that they found those two, Ryota and King Kong, just chilling in mid because they hit the Mountain Shocker, but no, apparently they were just out there in the middle.
There.
Yeah. They were clearing out the wave, doing what they have to do before that Lord.
They were just merry men, just clearing.
But suddenly, while 3mar just pops out.
That's scary.
Trying to defend this. Lord's almost taken care of. Carol takes some shots, but Brusco, quick charge, trying to defend here, but he gets dragged back, so Lord is gone, but you lost Brusco. Top turret worked on by Benny. They're going to go for it anyway. He pops it with nature. King Kong doesn't have enough damage either, as Benny Cutie is fine. Will take that base turret in top of Onic's base.
And I feel like for TNC, the play just could keep coming here. 3mar does have that flicker.
We'll see if they can end it here. Mid turret's going to be worked on. 3mar jumped in with the flicker again. Didn't find what he wanted, so Onic will lose the last base turret, and that's all TNC gets, but now with a massive lead in favor of them, 7K ahead.
This is going to be hard for TNC Pro Team, actually for Onic Philippines, considering that a 7K gold lead against a Hayabusa that has struggled to find his first kill of the game. 16 minutes in. King Kong is not having a great game after that Game 1 MVP performance. TNC Pro Team deliberately shut him down.
He's still struggling. And what happened in that top lane situation, Benny Cutie stepping up to King Kong. If King Kong stayed for about half a second longer, he would have been dead. And that might have been an end angle. So now TNC, what they're going to do is play for this final Lord. And I give them a 80% advantage, given that they have full vision. The Mount Shocker is a game changer. The fact that King Kong can hide in random bushes and shadow in for the steal or shadow in for the shadow kill changes how Onic have to go in. So I'll tell you now, maybe what they can do is, it's just so hard because my best practice, my suggestion would be to send Ryota, hunt down Zyda or Benny Cutie, compromise that part of the plan for TNC. That's the one thing that they can afford.
Well, right now for Onic Philippines, huge disadvantage here in terms of the map control. 3 inhibitor turrets down. Oh, wow!
Anime style read!
He tried, he missed, and now What's the answer here? They're just going to get the Lord off this. I'm not sure if Onic can actually contest this. They're missing a massive utility piece here. Brusco going to get caught with the final slash. He has nowhere to go. Dragged back with the lantern again. Brusco gone. They're still going to be fighting. Kelra firing off with the Rhapsody. King Kong jumps in, but still holds on to the shadow kill. They really don't have much space to work with at all. And it looks like that'll be it. TNC will just grab themselves the Lord.
That's going to be a Lord secured, but Ryota might be in trouble here. Chaknu has the shadow, but King Kong forced to go back.
Oh, no.
My God.
Spear Destruction going to be used. They go in anyway. Beacon from Lancey. He pops up with a trap. They'll find Ryota. The shadow kill going to be coming through. King Kong gets a kill. He still has the help of the team.
Wow,
but Kelra pops the wind of nature. 3 Mars on him. A double for Zyda, making a triple. He'll show them who's boss. And now they'll focus on the base and take us to game 3.
It seems that yesterday's 3 games are catching up for our final day of week 4. We're going to game 3 in our first match.
The Mountain Shocker's stun AoE is huge. I don't know if you often see it, but in that clip, wherein Zyda held onto it to the very last minute, to the very last second, showed you just how Onic thought they got away with it and they could retreat and heal back and then try to defend. They said, nah. They literally caught 2 of the key heroes in that engagement, ended it.
What a nice way for TNC to extend this series too. I feel like for Brusco, if that RBM engage came in clutch, that would have been massive for Onic Philippines. And he went in for that Ghost Bush. I called the Ghost Bush mainly because you don't really see it coming. There's like a ghost wall in the middle of RBM for that range for the Grok ultimate, but it didn't work right now because our MVP for game number 2, 3Mar, for his Arla performance, just swiped out so many people in his final slashes.
You know, we spoke about 3Mar leading into this and everything else, and he has done so good in all the matches at TNC, and especially when he gets his hands on Arlot, he's got to be one of the best players right now on the Arlot. Specifically, he's able to go ahead and calculate those catches with the final slash so well and provide so much value to TNC and how they kind of adjust from the early game all the way to the late game.
He is eking up to Sanford, currently as the best Arlot in the league, and this MVP performance is all you need to see to really understand why we're able to make that claim. Early on, he was getting bullied by the Uranus, yes, but he got away from that. He was able to answer that and mainly use his team to try and equalize. And then when they started leaving the lane, that's where things changed. And that's how, in my eyes, in my mind, rather, I knew that they were going to try to bully and oppress King Kong. But I didn't know they were going to do it this way. I didn't know that they were going to threaten his shadows with a vengeance and a final slash so effectively. Look, that's how it started.
Yeah.
And looking at our MVP highlights here for game number 2, going back to the early game, it was, I would say, a very close early to the mid-game, considering that Kelra was ahead against Betty Cutie for the first few minutes, but we couldn't really feel it because there weren't really big team fights that happened before TNC got their big lead.
I think that was the only thing Onic was winning. And the fact that Onic had that gold lane advantage throws us back to prime, well, I don't want to say prime Kelra, but the time that when we thought we knew how Kelra played. His older teams, Execration, Omega, they were fine as long as Kelra was okay, but this is a new age. We are in the new era of MLBB. You can't just rely on one hero, and even if King Kong did eventually get some damage on, Kelra could not be a tentpole, not with the way that TNC drafted and played, and 3Mar was one of the ways that they made sure that even if Kelra were standing, it would not be enough.
What I really also liked, and this worked together with 3Mar, was Chaknu on the box shot. I wasn't actually expecting that box shot pick to come through, but it played so well in the part of providing vision, just being in the face of Onic Philippines multiple times, especially King Kong, to the point where King Kong couldn't even try or an attempt early on to even steal an objective because Chaknu was usually there. So again, this was a really good synergy between Chaknu and also 3Mar working together to make this whole lineup really work. And, you know, so to speak too, like Zyda playing the YSS again after playing it 3 times yesterday. he played it just as well today here in game 2.
And Lancey also showing up. Even if he struggled on this Zushin from last game, this was a completely different setup. He had people soaking the damage for him. The vision was present. 3mar was more proactive. I feel like it wasn't a problem for they did have those elements in last game, which meant that Lancey had to make his own place for himself. But this time, very different game here for TNC Pro Team. It was a 17-minute, 55-second game. One of the more longer games that we've had, considering that our average game time right now is 16 minutes.
Yeah, adjustments were in check for TNC. And what some might say were repetitive, me included, I see now as just finding their footing. And with this kind of lineup, they were better able to answer the map, better answer their lane matchup, and better get them into a position wherein they were ahead. And TNC is just much better ahead. I'll say that now, they're much better ahead. When they're trying to catch up, it's hard for them to get their cores back online. And when they're ahead, even their cores play like they're not cores. That's why 3mar is so good in this game, because Benny was fine, Zyda was fine, and that means 3mar can shine.
And 3mar did shine, our Game 2 MVP for this series, extending the series all the way to game number 3. On this Auckland pickup, we've seen 3mar pick this up early on in the season.